Hey, what is up, guys? Pine Belt Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one. Finally back for another one. I think the last video I put up was like a month ago. The last beer review I did was a month ago. It's been pretty crazy I've been working and traveling a lot, so I've had a lot of good beers, but I have not, unfortunately, had a chance to actually get in front of a camera and review them for this channel. So, finally back. Finally, everything's calmed down a bit, and for this one that I have today, it is the Horny Goat Brewing Company's Black Vanilla India Porter. No, Pale Ale. India Pale Ale. Excuse me. It is, I believe, 6.5% alcohol by volume. My roommate picked this one up over the holidays in Louisiana across the Mississippi River Bridge. I've had a Horny Goat beer before. It was I think it was just a tall boy of the Oktoberfest. This beer does not have any reviews yet on Untapped. On Beer Advocate. It is awaiting 10 reviews, but just the reviews that are there are over 3.5. There's some 3.5, some are a little over the 4 out of 5 star ratings. On Untapped, it gets a 3.4 average out of 5 star. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get it opened up and see what we get with this. And like I said, I've had a lot of beers. I had a lot of Belgian beers actually over the holidays. But it's always just been with other people and whatnot, so I've just haven't had a chance to just sit down and review. But I guess I should just go ahead and maybe do some group reviews, maybe like with some pals or something, with some friends of mine or whatever. But anyway, okay. So with that pour, this is classified as a Cascadian Dark / Black IPA, and it is fairly dark in appearance, as you can see. There's not a whole lot of light coming through it. A little bit of brown on the underside of the edge, the bottom of this glass here. About a finger of some kind of caramel colored, creamy looking head, some small bubbles and some larger ones in there. And as I said, it's pretty black. I can't really see through it at all through any kind of light. So let's go ahead and go for the aroma on it. So yeah, pretty hoppy. First and foremost, kind of a sweet, kind of a resinous kind of hop aroma on it. I'm not sure if it has any sort of it doesn't really have anything on the bottle besides the alcohol content, which is 6.6%, and the IBUs are 65. So, but I get a little bit of that vanilla too. I'm getting a little bit of the vanilla. My roommate kind of told me something about he didn't really get any sort of the vanilla flavor in there. He just said it was kind of like a dark IPA, tasted like one. I am getting a little bit of the vanilla for sure, some roastedness, roasted darker malts, maybe a little kind of like almost like vanilla extract kind of smell. Maybe some grains, but not really too close to the front with those. A little sweetness, like caramel almost. And then again, with just the sort of almost kind of like coffee bean kind of roasted flavor, it almost kind of smells like a bit of a blend between, I guess that's funny that I said porter, because it almost smells like a blend between like a porter and an IPA, which I guess is what all like black IPAs essentially are. So anyway, let's go for the flavor on it. Actually very pleasant, and actually very close to that description I gave on the aroma. First off, you definitely get the hops. You get that like I said, that the sweet kind of resinous kind of hops, a little bit of grassiness, but mostly kind of like a more kind of sweeter hop variety. Roastiness comes in the middle, very bitter, very kind of like almost kind of like burnt coffee, not in a bad way though, but just kind of like a really strong black coffee flavor. then you get a little bit of the maltiness towards the back, and then that vanilla actually comes in on the finish. So that's really nice. I like how the vanilla kind of comes in on the finish with this one. Because like I said, it starts out with the kind of pleasant sweet kind of hoppy flavor. Then it gives you that kind of really overwhelming, not so much overwhelming, very punctual kind of bitter, roasted coffee kind of flavor. It gets pretty bitter, but then you have that vanilla that comes in on the back of it and finishes out really smooth. The mouthfeel is pretty drinkable. Not too heavy. A little bit more on the medium side. Not a whole lot of carbonation. Kind of a fairly still beer. It's not too overactive or anything like that with any bubbles or anything going on the palate. The finish is more on the wet side, so again, it lends to that drinkability, and it's fairly smooth on the finish as well, and you don't really pick up a whole lot of that close to 7% ABV in there. So, so like I said, it's very well balanced. It really kind of takes you on a little bit of a ride on the palate, I think, with the hops for sure. So you know it's an IPA, and then you get that sort of dark bitter, kind of coffee-like things that you would get with like a porter or another darker stout like beer. Not as sweet as a stout, but it's very close. But then you get that as the name suggests that it is, or claims that it is definitely a vanilla black IPA. So then that comes in and smooths it out. So for me, I think out of all the black IPAs I've tried, and I've tried quite a few of them, I think this is kind of one of the better ones, up there with the Sinister Minister by Southern Prohibition. And that's just me not saying that because I live in the same city that they brew, but just that it's that good, and that's kind of what I'm getting from this. So I think for me, I think I'd probably give it a solid A out of just the black IPA variety, out of a general beer, like dark beer type of variety. It is kind of winter right now. It is kind of chilly outside right now, and just drinking this beer right now, I'd say like A minus. It's really good. So definitely recommend trying it out. The Horny Goat Black Vanilla India Pale Ale. Alright guys, so that's it, and I do have some more new beers and stuff like that, so definitely I will be checking in with those and getting those reviewed. There are quite a few that have come out since I've done these beer reviews, and so I look very forward to going ahead and sharing those with you on here. So until next time guys, thank you for watching.